for a lot of us, a little break is on the horizon as we come into the end of the year. And I know for me, myself personally, this is probably one of the few times of year that I can take a short break. A lot of my clients go on holidays, so it's a perfect time to all sort of line up and take a break. But what I find is I like to have a few overarching personal plans during the break to make the absolute most of that break so that I do come back into my business totally recharged and refreshed and having completed some of my own personal goals. And so, I find a lot of people are on the treadmill of life and they get to the end of the year, and holidays can be very hectic with family and a lot of family pressure. And I think overall it's been quite a challenging year for a lot of people in business, as far as I can see, talking to candidates who've had a, pretty up and down kind of year. And so it's important at the end of the year to really recharge, take stock, and get that true downtime. Now, I'm very fortunate in a lot of respects because I live in a resort. And so it automatically kind of creates a bit of an ecosystem where I can kind of really switch off and everyone's kind of on holidays even when they're working. But I do like to have a bit of a plan. So for me personally, over Christmas, New Year, there'll be kind of a health plan, an exercise plan, and things I'll be doing every day. And I'll be pursuing some of my passion projects. And so throughout the year, I was trying to set up an art gallery, a virtual art gallery, and I literally just didn't get a single second to allocate my time to it. So I've got all these wonderful paintings in boxes and I haven't been able to even unpack things. So, over this period, I'm going to sort of achieve that goal of getting my artwork all in order for the year ahead. And that's a passion project. So it's not going to feel like work, but it's something I wasn't able to do during the year. So, think about what is your passions, what's something you would love to do, what would be a really meaningful thing. So you might go off to a cooking class, you might go off to an arts and craft class, you might go do a painting course or a photography course. Do something that, really, has some meaning and something that would really give you, a wonderful break, obviously getting the recharge aspect in place, resting and doing the digital detox, getting off the computers, enjoying a bit of life, spending it with friends and family and catching up with people. But have some sort of a theme for your break, particularly if you have a few weeks up your sleeve. There's definitely a way to get a sort of a week in where you're doing something of real personal interest. And I think if you can open your minds up to something that, taps into your creativity, your passions, your interests, you might even go and volunteer somewhere over the break, do something in the community, serve, give some time up for something that really means something to you. Then that way we come back off the break and we've really achieved something during that time versus just sort of crashing in a bed and sleeping for 4 weeks or whatever the time frame is. I know a lot of companies these days have an enforced lockdown, so it's a perfect time to switch off. In my opinion, I'm really cautious on trying to do work during this time, so I don't like to disturb people who are on their breaks, because sometimes for many people it's the only break that they ever get during the year, and it's the only time to kind of regroup. I'll never forget, it's kind of burnt in my mind, but years ago I was coaching and mentoring a partner in one of the big accounting firms. And year on year, he would spend his entire Christmas writing tenders. He was in a particular division of a business, and these tenders had to be written. And as a result, he was so distracted with work through the Christmas New Year break. And he confessed to me that he really hadn't spent any time with his kids. He didn't know his daughters. His daughters were having some problems later in life. And, he'd really missed out for several years. He was a partner for 10 years. So for 10 years, his Christmases were basically ruined by work. And I remember in my early days, our family had a car rental business. And of course, you could never take Christmas, New Year off because that was our peak season. And so very rarely would we actually have a Christmas. I was usually working at the Perth airport. My brother was detailing cars. And we might kind of get together in the evening, but it really didn't ever feel like Christmas. We kind of missed out on it. And I think back now, I don't have my dad, and, family very rarely gets together. And I think what a terrible missed opportunity that for so many years we never had a Christmas together as a family, because we were working in a business and that business is no longer here. What did it all mean? We missed out on all those opportunities. So if you have to work over Christmas, New Year, I really counsel you to make sure you still make time for your family and the things that are important, the things that are really, vital for you, and to get that opportunity to recharge, because you'll never get the time back. Okay, so, put some ring fences around companies and businesses that want to try and be on tap 24/7. Learn to put the do not disturb on. Learn to get out of an office. Learn to digital detox. Learn to take, what is important back into your life and reprioritize. And I think it's a good time of year to really think about your priorities for the year ahead, your personal values, what really means something to you. But I really hope you have a fabulous break and you get that opportunity to really, have a wonderful time. And I'm going to be using my time very wisely to recharge, but also pursue some real passions of mine. And I think it'll be a fabulous break. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Hope you are too.